Rod, how you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Yeah. I couldn't help but think of you when the name, image, and likeness thing came out, because I don't think anybody's done more with their name, image, and likeness than you have, but I guess you're not going to be around to benefit from it necessarily. Have you thought about that?
It's been an interesting development just to see how everything has kind of unfolded. Unfortunately, I won't be around, but hopefully some guys that are going to be coming in the next few years will get to see some benefit from it.
Do you have some plans in that regard? I mean, obviously, I'm sure you know, going around town, a lot of people know who you are, and you've become very popular in your 5 years here. Do you have some plans, or whether it be, I don't know, hot rod, Rex? You have a lot of ways you can go.
I definitely have a couple things in mind that might be looking for a trademark when my eligibility is over. I got to keep them under wraps for now.
Okay, those are trade secrets.
Would you have liked to seeing your face on the cover of NCAA football?
Well, that'd be cool. I just wanted to be in it. The last year that before the game got shut down was the year before I got to college, so I was never actually in the game. So it would have been really cool to be in the video game itself.
What do you make of the other stuff? It seems like you're up for a lot of awards. I don't know if you've actually received any. You've received a few citizenship awards to this point, but I mean, how do you process all that? It's a pretty wild ride, I guess.
I mean, it's an honor to be recognized for some of these awards. I think earlier today it was the Warfel Award. I was announced that I was a semifinalist for that, and it's really just an honor and a blessing to be recognized for some of the stuff I've done here. But at the same time, I always want to be grateful for the opportunity that I've been given just from being here at the University of Georgia. It's presented me with an amazing platform to go out and do so many things and reach out to so many communities. So I'm just eternally grateful for the opportunities that I've had since I've been here, and they've allowed me to do some really great things around the country.
Beyond just like practicing in the physical part, kicking, I know like it's a pretty big mental game compared to other positions. Have you had like a mental coach throughout your years here, or even before that during high school?
Coach Butler's been really great for helping with my mental game while he was here. He was here in 2016, 2017, and he really helped me. It was a really great resource for not just me, but for all the specialists. I mean, he kicked in the NFL for so many years. It was a really great resource to be able to pick his brain and just learn about how he handled things from a mental standpoint.
What was the biggest thing you learned from him?
He really helped with processing things in the immediate aftermath of a kick. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, whether it's somewhere in between, just being able to look at it objectively, take something away from him immediately, and then put it away and be able to come back to it and process it later. That was something that he really helped me to learn and to process.
Do you still talk to him like on the phone and stuff?
Not as much. I still usually talk to him probably once every 2 weeks or so, and then I always see him on the sidelines before home games. I always get to talk to him then.
How aware are you of some SEC records that I assume you'll have a chance to maybe, as you climb the career list? Did you look at that ever in the off season to see what you might need to do?
Not really. I'm just trying to go out and make every kick I can, hit every touchback I can, or not hit a touchback if the coaches ask me not to. I'm just trying to go out and execute the game plan, whatever that may be, when I step out on the field.
Kirby mentioned sometimes in the offseason he'll look out and he'll see you practicing kicks and just working and trying to hone your craft. How much of your success do you attribute to that work ethic that you have?
I think you can always look at the old saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I want to work as hard as I possibly can every single day. It looks different depending on what day of the week it is and what time of season it is. Sometimes working hard looks a little bit different than it does for right smack in the middle of the season. But I always want to work hard and, every single day try to do something to make myself just a fraction of a percent better if I can.
You seem like a guy who like adheres to a strict schedule with like kicking, right? Like, does that flow into like your everyday life as well, like just outside of football?
I am very routine oriented, I'd say, but for the most part, it's pretty well contained within the duration of a season.
Do you wake up at the same time every day?
I try to. I mean, it's just good for your body to get used to waking up at a certain time, just to have some consistency. Usually, I wake up around 7:15 every day. Tuesday and Wednesday, I drop off my dog at daycare, and then the rest of the day just goes from there.
Where's that, Petropolis?
Say again?
Petropolis, where are you doing?
No, Muddy Paws.
Oh.
That's,
The one in Watkins?
that's where he is right now. Yeah. Well, he's not there at this very moment, but that's where I take him right now.
What type of dog?
Golden Retriever. His name is Arbor.
That one's like pretty far away.
It's not that bad.
No, I live like, that's where I took my dog.
It's like,
Right on the block, it's far from here.
well, I mean, I live on the east side of campus. I live
So you go
I live off
Simonton
Whitehall
Bridge,
Road. Yeah.
and go down.
go straight down. It's about 10 minutes from my apartment.
It's a good place.
Yeah.
awesome.
He's real happy there.
Have you had any interactions with like the Blair Walshes, the Billy Bennetts that have been through here and have been in your shoes when they were playing here?
Yeah. Blair Walsh, Marshall Morgan.
Marshall also, yeah.
I talked to him. Billy Bennett, Brandon Catu. A lot of them reached out to me a couple weeks ago after a unfortunate incident, but those guys have been nothing but the best. They wish nothing for the best for me, and they've always been very supportive. I've known some of them from back when I was coming here to the kicking camps when I was in middle school and high school, when I first connected with them. And so there's just been a lot of support. They're all really great guys, and I know that I could talk to any of them if I needed to.
I know Blair in particular could probably, he's kind of been in those shoes, obviously on a huge stage in his career, with the Miss. Did he have some timely advice with that?
It's just kind of, get back to work, get back to the drawing board. Everything that you do to prepare for a game has brought you a lot of success so far, and don't get away from it. Just trust that what you're doing is going to help you get back on track.
You mentioned the unfortunate incident. How hard was it to sort of flush and move on from that? You know that you got to refocus and sort of bounce back from it.
I mean, games come really quick during the season. You've got one every 7 days. It's always crazy when you come back in on Sunday after a game and we have the countdown clocks all over the building, and it's like, oh, next game is like 5.5 days away. So like, you don't really get a whole lot of time to kind of really what's the word for it?
Process it.
Mull over it. You don't really have a lot of time to kind of mope around about it, because you've got to turn around and get ready for another tough opponent the next week, and the team needs everything that you can possibly give to them in 5.5 days or whatever the case may be. So I mean, we have a 24-hour rule, and that's really about all you get to kind of think about it, whether the game was good, whether it was bad. I did some good things in that game that I used as kind of a silver lining to just keep my head up. Obviously, it hurts when you don't come through, but at the same time, it felt the same way as if I had missed that kick, in the first or the second quarter. Anytime I miss a field goal, it's, it kind of stings, it bothers me. But at the same time, you have to just move on, because your team needs you. You can't really just sit around and mope about it. You have to move on and get back on track for the next game.
You were still kind of, you mentioned sting, you were still kind of feeling the sting of it when we talked to you last, and there were a lot of things that happened in that game. There was a block kick, there was a miss at the end, and then there was not getting the opportunity at the end, and you were, of course, very diplomatic and still sort of processing on it. What were your takeaways out of that whole game? I mean, I know how analytical you are, so I'm assuming you tried to get some good or figure out what went wrong and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, aside from that last kick, I thought that I actually had a pretty solid game. I did really well with all my kickoffs, hit all my field zones on kickoffs. I was putting the ball where I needed to. They had shown on film from previous games earlier in the season that they were willing to bring the ball out in the end zone if you don't kick it deep enough, and I kicked every ball deep enough to discourage them from running one out, so that was a plus. I made a 50-yarder on the opening drive to kind of get our offense going, so that was really good. The field goal at the half, I thought I hit it really well. I might have been able to get a little bit more height on the ball. It was a combination of that and also our protection led to the block, but I felt like I did everything that I could to try and help that operation go smoothly. It really just came down to that last kick that I really would have liked to have back, and I would have been able to call it a really good day.
2 more questions?
Kirby, I guess, mentioned that you're the only kicker that he's had here, which kind of didn't dawn on me in terms of, I guess, 16 was your first year as a starter, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how has that relationship evolved in terms of as you guys have kind of been together so long?
I mean, I think honestly when I first started kicking, I was very intimidated, but I think that that could stem from a lot of things. Obviously, Coach Martin is a very passionate coach. He's a very energetic coach, and he's not afraid to get in your face when you're not performing at the standard that the university deserves. And so that was a little bit of a shock to the system for me. But over the years, we've just come to develop a sense of trust and, a really good relationship, to just know that he has faith and confidence in me to be able to go out and execute my job. And we just have a much better relationship than in that first year, certainly.
I'm assuming during practice you can't be kicking the whole time. So you want to be good at encouraging stuff. Like you can kick a little bit too much, right? So what other drills do you do during practice to kind of fill up the time?
Our Coach Fountain will come in our meetings every day, and he'll break down, what we have with practice, how much time we have before a certain special teams period is coming up, and then we get to kind of pace ourselves with our drill work leading up to that point. We might do a little bit of drill work, and then we kind of shift away from drill work and work on full operation stuff before a live field goal period, or we shift away from drill work and start working on just our approaches for kickoffs leading up to a kickoff period. Like you said, you can't really kick for the entire practice. You kind of have to pace yourself. There's nothing wrong with, just not kicking for 10 or 15 minutes at a time, whatever it may be, just as long as you're staying loose and your body is staying loose and ready to go. You can kind of time up when you're going to prepare to go out for that live period.
Thank you, Rob.